Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Reciting the Qur'an is the best and greatest form of ibadah. I think sometimes, and I used to have this misconception as well, sometimes people think, the ibadah, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is sitting in a dark room saying Allah, 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 or for example, the tasbih, subhanallah, 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 or, other forms of dhikr. They think that is the best form of ibadah, and those are great forms of worship or acts of worship. And at times, because they become sunnah, they do become the greatest form of ibadah. But on a general scale, just on a default position, the greatest form of ibadah is reciting the Qur'an. And this video is basically a reminder about this, and number two, some sort of encouragement to use the Qur'an to bring further blessings in your life. Sometimes we think we read in the Qur'an, we're doing a great thing, and Allah is benefiting, but really and truly, only we're benefiting. So we're reciting the Qur'an, so we might be and you know what? Sit with the Mus'haf. Don't make it make an actual thing, a fixed time in your day. So it can be, before or after Salah, a couple of minutes, but you will start to realize the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He brings into your life. Sometimes you may find in your life that small things, even like the smallest thing, it just keeps going wrong. Like even if it's like a small thing where you're just walking and you hurt your foot, or something that's meant to be straightforward at work, it just it ends up taking 2-3 hours. And then you bring the Qur'an in your life, you start reciting the Qur'an with good intention, with the intention of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as I say, ultimately you're just benefiting yourself. You're getting the reward, every letter. من قرأ حرفا من كتاب الله فله به حسنة والحسنة بعشر أمثالها. Whosoever recites a word from the book of a letter from the book of Allah will receive 10 rewards. لا أقول ألف لام ميم حرف ولكن ألف حرف ولام حرف وميم حرف. So I do not say that ألف لام ميم is one letter, rather ألف is one letter, lam is one letter, mim is one letter, therefore 30. And then you can potentially multiply. There's other hadith which multiplies that from 10 to I think 170. I may be mistaken, or 70. If you know, leave it in the comments below, please, and the reference of the hadith and the rest of it. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, that when you start reciting the Quran, these small things that kept going wrong in your life, they don't happen anymore. And alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and continue to increase us. But I definitely speak from experience. There were times in my life, dark times as I call them, where I didn't used to recite the Quran, even if I recited the Quran in the whole year, it was in the month of Ramadan, and even that would be minimal, subhanallah. And I had years like that previously, and alhamdulillah, Allah, I was close to the Quran, then I went away from the Quran, and alhamdulillah, slowly but surely, I feel that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought me back to the Quran. So I thank Him for this. And those dark years of my life, this is when all these things used to happen. There's small things that would never go wrong for anyone else, used to go wrong for me. But then I see when I recite the Quran, or the days or the weeks that I'm sort of closer to the Quran, and it happens now as well, the days and the weeks I'm away from the Quran, those days and weeks generally have less blessings. And the days and the weeks that I'm close to the Quran, everything goes smoothly, and rather you see additional blessings. So basically, I'm just sat there, I'm reciting the Quran, and you try to keep a firm intention and the rest of it, but we have no idea what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing for us in the background, and He's opening other doors. You're reciting the Quran, but other doors are opening. For example, if you run a business, new clients, or people are talking about you, so therefore potential new clients. if you're working, you know, someone's making a plan in the background to promote you. If you're studying, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees that, okay, this person could have been studying for his or her exam, but instead is reciting my words. You know, I'm going to give he or she a pass with flying colors. So that's one angle. The other angle that I wanted to quickly speak about is around dua and the Qur'an. So, you know, we all have our beautiful lists of dua. So, you know, for example, we have dua that we you know, our standard template. You know, for example, we talk about Jannah, Jahannam, Allah grant us Jannah, save us from Jannah. So we talk about the hereafter. Then we talk about our standard stuff for the dunya. So, you know, we're making dua for our parents, our families, wife, children, work, income, and the rest of it. And then, you know, that list can go, and then we're making dua for the Muslims around the world, you know, those that are suffering, and generally anyone that's suffering around the world. So, you know, that list can become extremely long. And this is a little hack. This is a little hack that I like to call it, and this is something that I do, which is, you know, that sometimes that list becomes so long. Yeah, what I end up doing is, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows everything. Huwa al-Sami', He is the all listening. Huwa al-Basir, He is the all seeing. Huwa al-Khabir, He is the all knowing. Huwa al-Latif, you know, He knows the specifics. So then I just start reciting the Qur'an. And before I recite the Qur'an, I make a dua. So this is my last dua. So I start that whole list, but then it's like, there's too much to go through. So then I make a dua, oh Allah, you know everything. You know everything that's good for me. You know everything that's bad for me. You know everything that I want. You know everything that I need. You know, oh Allah, you know everything. What I'm going to do, I'm going to recite the Qur'an, and you just sort out all my affairs. And, you know, I just recite the Qur'an, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us. So maybe perhaps you can try that hack as well, see if it works, and leave the comments, leave us your feedback. Maybe in a year's time, you might see some benefit, bi'idhnillah. And a lot of the times we'll see the blessings brought into our life. When we bring the Qur'an, when we bring it into our life, you know, life goes very smoothly. And I'm talking about small things. For example, you know, just feeling happy during the day, or your day going smoothly, and that makes you happy as well. Being content with whatever you have. Some people, they have everything, as in, you know, in many people's eyes, they'll have everything, but they're just looking up and up and up, you know, at those above them, or above them, you could say. They're not really above them. Everyone goes through their own struggles and tests in life. But, you know, they're not content. So the Qur'an should be the priority. Make the Qur'an your priority, and everything will come back to you. This is one thing, and this is ma'ruf, this is known. We should do this anyway. But Shaykh Abdullah al-Jarullah, this is one thing that he taught me when he came to the UK to visit me for 2 weeks. This is one thing he sort of instilled in me. Just, you know, spending the 2 weeks with him, is that, and through his life as well, he talks from experience, is that make the Qur'an your priority above everything else, and everything else will fall into place. And, you know, I see this in my own life, alhamdulillah, and I'm passing on the message to you guys. Pray for me, and pray for my family, my parents, and my teachers. Nas'alullah al-qubula wal-ikhlas. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.